importing. We can have weeks also here in this function. Then yes, we can have here also weeks, quarters, or years. Let me just show you an example here. I'll just copy this function, create a new column, which will be again indicator. We will call it weeks between. And I will just the days, and here I will use weeks. And here you can see the results. And if you take a look at the preview, you can see how many weeks are between these two. Also quarters, year. Okay. Do you have got any other questions? Or should we continue to the next part? Okay, so if you have any questions, import the data, and we can do this only by hitting and click on this button, continue. Now the data are imported.
Radhik, sorry,
yeah.
But can we record this meeting?
Yes, I can record it, but I can start now.
Means
and then,
from this onwards also it's fine. Means we was not aware of that functionality. So if anyone is missing, so just we can show this session to them, and they can continue with the things. That's why.
Okay.
If it's possible to record.
I will start. Okay, I will start recording now. And for the previous part, I will send you also this script and the file that I have used. So you will be able to use exactly the same script that I've used.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Then what might be interesting for you, also in the data set, is that Belladati also provides oh, wait a second. I will just enable this function because we got a data collecting function, and this data collecting function, it allows you to create forms directly in the data set, and these forms can be used by external users to add data into Belladati. So if I go to the dataset and open one dataset, here is an option which is called data collecting forms. And if you open this option, you can create new form. So I will click here on new import form. I will give it a name. And here I will select option generate according to the dataset model. And if I click on create, then a new form is available. And if I hit to click on fill form, you can see that according to the data model, this form has been generated. So you can publish a form like this, and you can publish it to some external user, and based on information from them, you can collect the data. I don't know if it's this option might be for your use case, but I don't know about your use case many things, so it's just an option. You can also define which type of columns will be here. So you can do this on, you can prepare this only for date. So for example, the user will be able only to import a date. You can use, for example, some select boxes, so the user will be able to just to select from preset values, and he won't be able to add his own values and do any stuff like this. So maybe could you please tell me if this option would be interesting for you and for your use case? Okay, so one thing here, this option by default it's not allowed. So if you will need to allow this option, just ask us, and we will send you a license key which allows this. Or if you will use Belladati Cloud, our administrator also needs to allow this function because it's disabled by default. Then your next question was according to the function in the report, the function for creating the formulas. So now I would like to provide you a few examples how this function should be used. I will mainly focus on date functions. So here I will create a new report, which are focused on sales of coffee and tea in the United States. Let me create a chart, and here we will use one sample function. Let me create a line chart, and first I will select the sales. Use this, and for this is standard indicators, not created via formulas. You can see how the sales are changing. But in some cases, you might like to see cumulative values. Cumulative values means that the values start with the 0, and then the values are accumulated by the time. So here we've got a function which is called cumulate from. You can select cumulative value, and you can see here you can define a date. In this case, I will use 2012, the 1st of January, and use here just sales. And if I apply this value, then you can see that these values are accumulated or find time later on. Then I will create another chart, and to cut add again one, and we'll also add another indicator which will display sales for the previous year. So we'll call it sales previous year. And here we can use function which will display values for different for previous interval. So this function is called pref, and for this function we can define which date aggregation will be used. So we can use previous year, we can use previous month, previous quarter, previous for example previous week or previous day. In this case we'll use previous year, so year is only y is used for this. If we will use weeks, then we will